Happy Sabbath day to my brothers and sisters. And before I begin anything, as you can see what my title is about today, but before I begin anything, I'm going to read out of Psalm 78, and I'm going to read the whole chapter. I'm going to read the whole chapter of Psalm 78 for my springboard today. And it says, "Give ear, O my people, to my law. Incline your ears to the words of my mouth. I will open my mouth in a parable. I will utter dark sayings of old, which we have heard and known, and our fathers have told us. We will not hide them from their children, showing to the generations to come the praises of the Lord and his strength, and his wonderful works that he had done. For he established a testimony in Jacob, and appointed a law in Israel, which he commanded our fathers that they should make them known to their children, that the generation to come might know them, even the children which should be born. We should arise and declare them to their children, that they might set their hope in God, and not forget the works of God, but keep his commandments, and might not be as their fathers, a stubborn and a rebellious generation, a generation that set not their heart aright, and whose spirit was not steadfast with God. The children of Ephraim, being armed and carrying bows, turned back in the day of battle. They kept not the covenant of God, and refused to walk in his law, and forgot his works, and his wonders that he had shown them. Marvelous things did he in the sight of their fathers, in the land of Egypt, in the field of Zoan. He divided the sea, and caused them to pass through, and he made the waters to stand as a heap. In the daytime also he led them with a cloud, and all the night with a light of fire. He clave the rocks in the wilderness, and gave them drink as out of the great depths. He brought streams also out of the rock, and caused the waters to run down like rivers. Verse 17. And they sinned yet more against him by provoking the Most High in the wilderness. And they tempted God in their heart by asking meat for their lust. Yeah, they spake against God. They said, Can God furnish a table in the wilderness? Behold, he smote the rock, that the waters gushed out, and the streams overflowed. Can he give bread also? Can he provide flesh for his people? Therefore the Lord heard this and was wroth. So a fire was kindled against Jacob, and anger also came up against Israel, because they believed not in God, and trusted not in his salvation. Therefore he had commanded the clouds from above, and opened the doors of heaven, and had rained down manna upon them to eat, and have given them of the corn of the heaven. Man did eat angels' food. He sent them meat to the full. He caused an east wind to blow in the heaven, and by his power he brought in the south wind. He rained flesh also upon them as dust, and feathered fowls like as the sand of the sea. And he let it fall in the midst of their camp, round about their habitations. So they did eat, and were filled. For he gave them their own desire. But they were not estranged from their lust. But while their meat was yet in their mouths, the wrath of God came upon them, and slew the fattest of them, and smote down the chosen men of Israel. For all this they sinned still, and believed not for his wondrous works. Therefore their days did he consume in vanity, and their years in trouble. When he slew them, then they sought him, and they returned and inquired early after God. And they remembered that God was their rock, and the high God their redeemer. Nevertheless they did flatter him with their mouth, and they lied unto him with their tongues. For their heart was not right with him, neither were they steadfast in his covenant. But he, being full of compassion, forgave their iniquity, and destroyed them not. Yea, many a time turned he his anger away, and did not stir up all his wrath. For he remembered that they were but flesh, a wind that passeth away and cometh not again. How oft did they provoke him in the wilderness, and grieved him in the desert? Yea, they turned back and tempted God, and limited the Holy One of Israel. They remember not his hand, nor the day when he delivered them from the enemy, how he had wrought his signs in Egypt and his wonders in the field of Zoan, and had turned their rivers into blood and their floods that they could not drink. He sent diverse sorts of flies among them, which devoured them, and frogs, which destroyed them. He gave also their increase into the caterpillar, and their labor unto the locust. He destroyed their vines with hail, and their sycamore trees with frost. He gave up their cattle also to the hail, and their flocks to hot thunderbolts. He cast upon the fierceness of his anger wrath and indignation and trouble, by sending evil angels among them. He made a way to his anger. He spared not their soul from death, but gave their life over to pestilence, and smote all the firstborn in Egypt, the chiefs of their strength in the tabernacles of Ham, but made his own people go forth like sheep, and guided them in the wilderness like a flock. He led them on safely, so that they feared not. But the sea overwhelmed their enemies, and he brought them to the border of his sanctuary, even to this mountain which right hand had purchased. He cast out the heathen also before them, and divided them inheritance by line, and made the tribes of Israel to dwell in their tents. Yet they tempted and provoked the Most High God, and kept not his testimonies, but turned back and dealt them faithfully like their fathers. They were turned aside like a deceitful bow, for they provoked him to anger with their high places, and moved him to jealousy with their graven images. When God heard this, he was wroth and greatly abhorred Israel, so that he forsook the tabernacle of Shiloh, the tent which he placed among men, and delivered his strength into captivity. And his glory unto the enemy's hand. He gave his people over unto the sword, and was wrought with his inheritance. The fire consumed their young men, and their maidens were not given to marriage. Their priests fell by the sword, and their widows made no lamentation. Then the Lord awakened as one out of sleep, and like a mighty man that shouted by reason of wine, he smote his enemies in the hinder parts. He put them to a perpetual reproach. Moreover, he refused the tabernacle of Joseph, and chose not the tribe of Ephraim, but chose the tribe of Judah, the Mount Zion which he loved. But he built his sanctuary like high palaces, like the earth which he had established forever. He chose David also his servant, and took him from the sheepfolds, from following the alls great with young. He brought him to feed Jacob his people, and Israel his inheritance. So he fed them according to the integrity of his heart, and guided them by the skillfulness of his hands. And I'm going to start right there, but it just gave you a brief history. Just gave you a brief history of what the Most High done for the Israelites and what they have done to him in return. All right. We did follow, and then we did break. All right, but it gave you a history of the time of Moses and the time he was in the wilderness and so on and so forth, as I read. All right, and I'm going to jump right off into it and tell you my name is Dani'el Yahuda, the acknowledged Israelite. And today I'm going to just talk about the 10 Commandments, just the 10. All right, there are many commandments that the Most High have, but I'm going to talk about just this 10, just the main 10. All right, I'm going to jump right into it. We're going to jump right into it in Exodus chapter 19 in verse 3. Turn books to Exodus chapter 19 and verse 3. If you're following along, do so. If you're going to listen, just listen. All right. Exodus chapter 19, and we're going to read, we're going to start at verse 3. And Moses went up to God, and the Lord called unto him out of the mountain, saying, Thus shalt thou say to the house of Jacob, and tell the children of Israel, Ye have seen what I did unto the Egyptians, and how I bare you on eagle's wings, and brought you unto myself. Now therefore, if you will obey my voice indeed, and keep my covenant, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people, for all the earth is mine. And ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel. And Moses came and called for the elders of the people, and laid before their faces all these words, which the Lord commanded him. And all the people answered together and said, All that the Lord has spoken we will do. And Moses returned the words of the people unto the Lord. And the Lord said unto Moses, Lo, I come unto thee in a thick cloud, that the people may hear when I speak with thee, and believe thee forever. And Moses told the words of the people unto the Lord. Now, I really don't like saying Lord and God, but I'm saying it and right. I'm reading it as it is written, for the audiences that's watching or that's reading the KJVs, because I'm reading the King James Version Bible. So I'm reading it as is. I usually like to say the Most High when I see Lord and God in here, but I'm just going to read it as it is written. All right. All right. All the words that the Most High spoken, we shall do. Right. We heard that. All right. Now I'm going to go to just these 10 words right here. These 10 words right here. These 10 commandments. These words from the Most High, right? We told the Most High, every word you say, right, we shall do. All right? So we're going to go to these 10 words for a second. We're going to go to Exodus chapter 20. Exodus chapter 20. And we're going to read verses 1 to 20. And God spake all these words, saying, I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt not have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, or any likeness of anything in the heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them, for I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me, and keep my commandments. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain, for the Lord will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain. Remember the Sabbath day. Remember the Sabbath day, to keep it holy. 6 days thou shalt labor and do all thy work, but the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, nor thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea, and all them that in them is, and rested the seventh day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day, and hallowed it. Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, or anything that is thy neighbor's. And all the people saw the thunderings and lightnings, and the noise of the trumpet and the mountain smoking. And when the people saw it, they removed and stood afar off. And they said unto Moses, Speak thou with us, and we will hear, but let not God speak with us, lest we die. And Moses said unto the people, Fear not, for God is come to prove you, and that his fear may be before your faces, that ye sin not. Reason why I brought verse 20 out, because it said, For ye sin not. Now, I'm going to let you know, whenever you break the Most High's commandments, it is a sin. Whichever one it is, wherever you see thou shalt not, all right, it is a sin. These are why these words and these commands are brought forth, so we would sin not. All right. This is why these commandments and these laws and statutes was given to the children of Israel, so we will sin not. You know. I mean, we all know that the other nations are in sin. All right, the other nations are in sin, but the Most High chose us. Chose the children of Israel, chose Jacob's seed, and the prophecy he gave to Abraham, all right, that he would keep, all right, and he wanted the Most High wanted to take the children of Israel out of sin. That's why these commands was given to us, all right, to keep us, like verse in Exodus 20 and 20 says, and Moses said unto the people, Fear not, for God is come to prove you, and that his fear may be before your faces, that ye sin not. All right. We're going to go to Deuteronomy chapter 5. Deuteronomy chapter 5 and verse 1. We're going to go through it one more time. These commandments one more time. In Deuteronomy chapter 5 verse 1. All right. And Moses called on Israel and said unto them, Hear, O Israel, the statutes and judgments which I speak in your ears this day, that ye may learn them and keep and do them. The Lord our God made a covenant with us in Horeb. The Lord made not this covenant with our fathers, but with us, even us who are alive who of us here alive this day. The Lord talked with you face to face in the mount of the midst of the fire. I stood between the Lord and you at that time to show you the word of the Lord. For ye were afraid by reason of fire, and went not up unto the mount, saying, I am the Lord that God which brought thee out of the land of Egypt from out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt not have none other gods before me. Thou shalt not make any graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in the heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the waters beneath the earth. Thou shalt not bow thyself unto them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain, for the Lord will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain. Keep the Sabbath day to sanctify it, as the Lord thy God had commanded thee. 6 days thou shalt live and do all thy work, but the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, nor thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thine ox, nor thine ass, nor any of thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. Thy manservant and thy maidservant may rest as well as thou. And remember that thou was a servant in the land of Egypt, and that the Lord thy God brought thee out thence through a mighty hand, and by a stretched out arm. Therefore the Lord thy God commanded thee to keep the Sabbath day. Honor thy father and thy mother, as the Lord thy God hath commanded thee, that thy days may be prolonged, as it may go well with thee in the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not steal, neither shalt thou bear false witness against thy neighbor, neither shalt thou desire thy neighbor's wife, neither shalt thou covet thy neighbor's house, his field, or his manservant, or his maidservant, his ox, or his ass, or anything that is thy neighbor's. I'm going to stop at verse 21. All right. Just wanted to get that out there. In Deuteronomy chapter 5, Moses made it a little more clearer of the Ten Commandments, of how the Most High came about with it. I just wanted to pull those two chapters and verses out to go over the Ten Commandments, all right, when they came out. Now, all right, we're going to go back into Exodus 20, and now we're just going to do a little brief examination, a little brief understanding of the commandments and words from the commandments through other books and words from our Messiah about these commandments we're going to go through. All right, we're going to begin at Exodus 20, and we're going to read verses 3 to 5. And it says, Thou shalt not have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in the heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them, for I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children to the third and fourth generation of them that hate me. All right, when he said, Thou shalt not bow down to them, all right, verse 5, it said, Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. And he said, Thou shalt not have no other gods before me, because you know, anything can become your God. You can make anything become your God. Even if you have a box of cereal, you can make a box of cereal become your God, right? By bowing down and by worshiping them, right? But they got other things that people bow down to and worship, where the Most High says to not do, even in the Ten Commandments, right? Well, we're going to, we got religion, right? I'm going to get into the brief thing of religion. I might have a class about the religion and the origins of it, and through the Bible. That it's not good, because the Bible do not teach religion. It teach a way of life for the Israelites. All right? This is a way of life. This is a way of life that he given unto the Israelites, right? A heavenly, orderly life. All right, because the commandments and the words out of the mouth of the Most High are holy. Right, it's the most righteous, spirit out here. You know, it's just the most righteous. Put it like that. All right, and we know that His law is holy. Right, the law is holy. We know that. To my fellow Israelites who know that the law is holy, and it got a script that I'm gonna go to prove that. But right now I'm gonna jump right into it of Exodus 23:5 when he says, "Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them and serve them." Now, like I said, we have people that does that in religion. I'm gonna begin with Christianity. I'm gonna begin with that religion, Christianity. Right? It's the cross. That's the idol. Right? The cross. They got even the denomination from Christianity, which is Catholic, where they cross their hearts and stuff like that. You got Methodists, you got Protestants, you got uh, uh, Presbyterian. It's like at least seven denominations of Christianity out there, and all of them have is Seventh Day Adventists. All of them have this certain their own man-made rules that they go by. Now, like I said, Christianity got the cross, right? This is the idol. People bow down to this cross. People had these crosses on their mega churches. This cross, people wear it. The crosses on their necks and stuff like that. Which the cross really represented Roman capital punishment, right? This is how the Romans crucified people. Like in today's age, you got the United States where you have the lethal injection, like they used to have the electric chair and stuff like that. Those things was to put you to death. In Christianity, the cross was a symbol and was the Roman capital punishment of putting you to death. That's what the cross was for in Rome. All right, and Constantine used it. See, he had a dream, he had a vision, right? And to use this cross to conquer, which became the war of the Crusades, right? In the Muslims, the Mongols, I meant to say, this war that came. All right, that's a little brief history, but that's on another note. I'm not going to take too much time. I'm going to have a little brief thing, the brief spring, all right, springboard. And you got Islam, right? Another religion who bow down to the Kaaba, the ancient shrine. The ancient shrine in Mecca, right, where they do it's during an annual Hajj, or what would they like to call a pilgrimage. Where they walk around the Kaaba, the black stone, right? They bow down and they kiss to this, right? That's something that we're not supposed to do. These are idols. We're not to bow down to these things. We're not to bow down to this stone. We're not to bow down to this cross. And then you got Judaism with the Wailing Wall, the converts, right? The Jewish converts, which was the Wailing Wall is really called the Western Wall. That really was built by Herod the Great, an Edomite. Herod the Great, of the seed of Esau, right? And they considered this wall holy. They considered this wall holy where they rock back and forth facing the wall. Now, when did the Most High ever made a wall something holy? A little food for thought. I never heard about the Most High making the wall holy, right? Especially it was made by Herod, which wasn't an Israelite, which was an Edomite, a man from Adumia, all right, from Esau, descended from Esau, all right. The Most High did not deal with Esau; he dealt with Israel. So how could Herod the Great tell me that this Western Wall, right, a Wailing Wall, what they call it, will be holy or considered holy? This is what the Messiah was talking about. We're going to go to Matthew chapter 4. Matthew chapter 4, and we're going to read Matthew chapter 4, and we're going to read verse 10. Verse 10. Then said Yahshua unto him. All right, some people say Jesus, some people say Yahweh Shai, some people say Yeshua, Yahusha, Yahoshua, Yeshaya. Like I said, it means the same Savior except this word Jesus. All right, but I'm going to continue. I'm just going to continue on. I'm not going to get off into that today. Matthew chapter 4, verse 10. Then Yahshua said unto him, Get thee hence, Satan, for it is written, Thou shalt worship the Lord thy God, and him only shalt thou serve. Him only shalt thou serve. The Most High only who we should serve. Alright? We shouldn't serve a pastor that tell us to come to the pulpit in front of these crosses and bow down, right? We shouldn't serve this man called Muhammad, right? To say he's a prophet and stuff like that. We is to not serve him, and we is to not serve this wailing wall out of all these religions, right? He said, Thou shalt worship the Lord thy God, and him only shalt thou serve. So this is who I'm going to serve only. All right? I'm not going to serve man. I'm not going to serve anybody but him. I'm not going to serve anybody but the Most High. All right? Under the spirit of the Messiah, this is who I'm going to serve, just like he also served. All right? So let me go and jump down. Let's go back to Exodus 20. We're going to read verse 6. Exodus 20. We're going to read verse 6. Verse 6 to 7. Let's do that. Verse 6 to 7. And it says, And showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. Showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. I'm going to bring a script down further online to show you how you love the Most High. Alright? In verse 7 it said, Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain, for the Lord will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain. This is why I try not to say the Father's name, alright? Because I don't want to make it in vain or even bring it to naught to where people can even able to curse him out when I'm telling them the truth and they not believing it. And, they got some ignorant people out there that just be like, F's or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to say his name, right? Because I don't want him to, I don't want to take his name in vain because this name is sacred to me. All right, I call it in my prayers. All right, in my prayers I call it, or maybe I will call it on a Sabbath day, but every now and then. But I'm gonna keep his name holy, and I'm not gonna take his name in vain. All right, so it says in verse 7, it says, Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain, for the Lord will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain. Why is this written? We're gonna let the Messiah clear that up. We're gonna let the Messiah clear that up for you. I'm not gonna speak on my own volition. I'm gonna let the scriptures do the answering for me and the questioning for me. In Matthew chapter 5 and verse 33, like I said, you're listening to Dani'el Yahuda, the acknowledged Israelite. Matthew chapter 5 verse 33 is where we're going to begin. Matthew chapter 5 verse 33. And it says, Again, ye heard that it has been said of old time, Thou shalt not forswear thyself, but shalt perform unto the Lord thine oaths. Alright, you're supposed to do the words of the Most High, right? Thine oaths. We know an oath is like A promise. All right. And it says, verse 34, it says, but I say unto you, swear not at all. Swear not at all, neither by heaven, for it is God's throne, nor by the earth, for it is his footstool, neither by Jerusalem, for it is the cry of the great king. Verse 36, neither shalt thou swear by thy head, because thou canst not make one hair white or black. All right? Because you got people that say, I swear to God, I swear, they'll say, man, I promise to God, and stuff like that. That's like basically taking his name in vain, all right? You can't, the Messiah is basically telling you it's best not to do it at all because of these things. This is his kingdom, this is his throne or whatever. So, you know what I'm saying? Don't make any promises that you can't keep, because we was in the wilderness, we made promises that we couldn't keep what we said. Everything the Father in Exodus 19, like we read earlier in verse 3 to 9, where it said everything he say we shall do, right? We made an oath, we made a promise, right? And we broke that. All right. So it's best not to swear or promise anything by the Most High, or say I swear to God or anything like that. And don't let them tell the Most High what you ain't gonna never do again. All right, that's an oath that you make, and don't ever tell the Most High what you gonna never do again, and you wind up doing that again. That's breaking the promise to the Most High. That's like breaking the law. When you breaking it's like you breaking your oath with him, all right? Just like I said a couple of days ago, you breach a contract is consequences that you're gonna have to pay. All right, it's consequences you're gonna have to pay. So what you want to do, you want to not sweat it. This is not good. You can't do that. It's not right. It's not right to make oaths that you can't keep, especially when it's according to the Most High, right? Let the Messiah clear that up a little bit on Exodus 6 or 7 about the Most High, that God's name, right? You would not want to take his name in vain and do all these vain things with his name, right? That's not good. Exodus 20:8 now. It says, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. The Sabbath day to keep it holy, right? You got a little controversy about the Sabbath day, but it's really simple. All right, in Exodus 28, it says, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days thou shalt labor and do all that work. 6 days shall you labor. 6 days, you got 6 days to labor. But the 7th day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work. Thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, nor thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested the 7th day. Rested the 7th day, not slept, because the Most High never sleep, but just, with a little relief. Rested the 7th day. Wherefore, the Lord blessed the Sabbath day. He blessed this day. He blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. The Sabbath is, this scripture right here telling you that the Sabbath day is just a day of rest from all your work from 6 days. All right. Now today, when you look on your calendar, right, what day is the Sabbath day? What day is the Sabbath day? Okay, when you look on your calendar, it's real easy. It's real simple. When you look on your calendar, your cell phone, get your cell phone. Now look at your cell phone calendar. Look at the calendar. I mean, just look at the calendar. I don't care what calendar you have. Just look at the calendar. The first day begins with Sunday. Then you got Monday. Then you got Tuesday. Then you got Wednesday. Then you got Thursday. Then you got Friday. Then you got Saturday. That's just how simple it is. The 7th day is the so-called Saturday. We know Saturday was named after the Saturnalia god, right? This day was really called Sabbath, a day of rest. It's real simple. The Sabbath day is on so-called Saturday. Friday sundown to Saturday sundown. If you would know the time, the days go from evening to evening, alright? Evening to evening, sundown to sundown. Alright? It's simple. Sabbath day is Friday, sundown, Saturday, sundown. It's just that simple. The seventh day. Simple. All right. Sunday is not the Sabbath day. That's the first day of the week. We all know that. When you really look at it, what people call Friday and Saturday, the weekend. The week end. Week, WEEK, end. END. This is when the week ends, right? Sunday is when the day, when the week begins. It's not when the week ends. All right. Like I said, I could go into history on this Sunday, but I'm not gonna get into that today. I'm gonna stick with the topic. You know, this is the idea that popped up in my head. Well, I'm gonna talk about just this one day, just this Sunday, just this Sunday. I'm gonna talk about just this word Sunday, and when it came to be a day of rest for the Gentiles, and when this law was made and was consecrated, that the day of the sun gonna be a day of worship. All right. But it's real simple, people. It's real simple. I counted 7 days from the day of the week, which the last day became Saturday, right? When you look on your calendar, right, your calendar will tell you that. And it says 6 days you shall labor. So do all your work, do all your work before preparation day, which is Friday before the sundown. That's preparation day for me. That's what I call it, preparation day. I got to get everything prepped to do everything I got to do before the sunset, right? Which bring in the Sabbath, because it is a day of rest. We're supposed to rest from everything uh, that that we love to do, or that we desire to do. We have to rest from these things because it's not our day, it's His day. It's the Most High day. This is the sanctified, holy day that He commanded, that this day be a day of rest for us, because it was a day that He rested in the seventh day after He finished the world, right? So this was a day He rested, so it was a day that He said, hey, this is the day that you are going to rest, all right? On the seventh day. Now the first day, right, we see that the Most High made light. All right, this wasn't a day that he said for us to worship, right? He said the 7 days, 6 days we do all our work, get your work done. The 7 days is the Sabbath of the Most High, right? This His day. We give it all to Him. We stay away from our desires that we love to do every day. All right. So let's listen to the Most High, right? Like the Messiah said, right? He is the only one we shall serve, all right? Man may not consider this as a rest day, but the Most High do, right? The man's rest day is on Sunday. All right, this is man's rest day when everything closed early. Some people just don't be open, period, right? And for the reason why, religious reasons, right? Christianity, right? Got everything closed, which is to me the most dominant religion. It's more dominant than Islam, more dominant than Judaism. Christianity is just it's this fourth beast, all right? This Roman thing, put it like that. This Christianity is this Roman thing. All right. It makes me it trips me out. A lot of people say I'm not, I'm a Christian. I'm not Catholic, but hey, it's all the same. Christian and Catholic is the same. Catholic come from the Christianity, the religion of Christianity, right? So does the Methodist and Presbyterian, and all Seventh Day Adventists, all these other Christian denominations, man. It's just the Bible is only one word. Why so many differences? So many different religions, and they follow so many different things. Why is it confusing against us Israelites that's following the truth in Christianity, right? What's the difference? I mean, why is we going back and forward, with this when we tell them the truth and they just don't believe it? This book is just one word. Just one word. It shouldn't be that many. When the Most High says keep my Sabbath day, then that's just what it should be. We just keep the Sabbath day. That's just what it should be. I mean, when He say, hey, don't drink that water today, just don't drink the water today. I mean, it's just that simple, man. It's just that simple. All right. Um. Let's go to Luke 6. Luke chapter 6 and verse 6. Quickly. Luke 6 and 6. And it reads, and it came to pass also on another Sabbath that he entered into the synagogue. He entered into the synagogue and taught, and there was a man whose right hand was withered. I just wanted to bring that out to where the Messiah even taught on the Sabbath day. When you go up to verses 3 all the way down to 6, you will see that the Messiah always taught on the Sabbath day. Even the apostles taught on the Sabbath day. All right, this just to let you know that what day that we supposed to worship the Most High. Right, Sunday is not a day we supposed to worship the Most High. Now, if you want to talk about the Most High, hey, cool. Monday, you want to talk about the Most High, cool. Tuesday, you want to talk about the Most High, cool. Wednesday, cool. Thursday, cool. All those days is cool if you want to talk about the Most High, but Saturday is a day we is to worship the Most High, right? You know what I'm saying? This is when we to come out of the scriptures and, and do the do. This is the day we is to worship him. All right? I just brought that script out in Luke 6 and 6 to show you that the Messiah taught on the Sabbath day too. And there's many other scriptures where you will see that he taught on the Sabbath day and read out of the book of Isaiah. Now, we're going to go to Mark now. Mark chapter 2. I'm going to read in the Synoptic Gospels. In Mark chapter 2. All right. Mark chapter 2. Verse 24. Mark chapter 2, verse 24. Mark chapter 2, verse 24. And the Pharisees said unto him, behold, why do they on the Sabbath day that which is not lawful? And he said unto them, have ye never read what David did when he had need and was hungry, he and they that were with him? He went into the house of God in the days of Abiathar the high priest, and did eat the showbread, which is not lawful to eat but for the priests, and gave also to them which were with him. And he said unto them, the Sabbath was made for man, and not man for the Sabbath. Therefore the Son of Man is Lord also on the Sabbath. The Messiah was telling you, hey, I am master even on the Sabbath day. All right. And in verse 27 it said the Sabbath was made for man. All right. Not man for the Sabbath. So you can't live up there and say, hey, this is going to be my Sabbath day. You know what I'm saying? Sunday is my Sabbath day. You can't do that. You can't do that. We said the Sabbath was made for man. What the Messiah is telling you. The Sabbath was made for man. Like I like to call the Messiah. And I'm gonna do some. I'm gonna talk about that another day. But I like to call the Messiah a fundamentalist. He a fundamentalist teacher, right? He break things down that of the law that people did not understand. All right. I like to call them the fundamentalists. Giving you the breakdown and basic, in the basics of it all. And he said the Sabbath was made for man. So this day is made for you. This is a day. This is not and not man for the Sabbath. So this Sabbath is made, for man, right?